Hello, this is Whitney Otan, Geology Professor in the Department of the Earth Sciences, and I'm here today to explain to you this week's exercise in ESC 195 Natural Disasters Laboratory. Today's topic is hurricanes. And as you know, hurricanes are large tropical cyclones which originate over the ocean and produce very severe wind speeds, heavy rains, and when they reach landfall, they can have fairly catastrophic storm surges. Hurricanes develop basically a circulation pattern that begins to develop in a counterclockwise rotation, and then they tend to move across the ocean and can make significant impacts when they hit land. One of the critical factors in where and when a hurricane can form is the sea surface temperature. The warmer the temperature of the ocean water, the more likely it is that a hurricane can form. So basically, as a result, the hurricane season, as we would call it, tends to occur through the summer and the early fall in the northern hemisphere, especially in the Atlantic basin, which affects the United States and most of North America. The hurricane season basically has a pattern where in the earlier part of the season storms tend to not form as large, and they tend to form in the western side of the Atlantic basin, and by the middle part of the hurricane season, approximately in August and September, we have a tendency to get storms forming in the eastern part of the Atlantic Ocean near the coast of Africa. Some of these storms can be the more severe storms because they originate in very warm water, and they can, once they form, they also can travel fairly long distances across warm oceans before making landfall. The intensity of hurricanes also tend to vary with season. Smaller hurricanes or lower intensity hurricanes tend to form early in the hurricane season, and with the peak intensity that occurs in the August and September time period, we also tend to have the largest storms. We rate storms by what is called the Saffir-Simpson scale, which is a scale from 1 to 5 that is associated with greater and greater wind speeds. The higher the Saffir-Simpson number, the higher the wind speed of the hurricane itself. Now, hurricane track patterns are recorded as they move across the ocean, and also as they make landfall, and then lastly as they decay as they move inland away from the coastal areas. These track patterns tend to also be associated with time of the year. There tends to be preferences for when storms are more likely or less likely to occur and make landfall. Hurricanes are dangerous wherever they are occurring. They are dangerous in the ocean, but they primarily affect shipping and ocean navigation. When a hurricane makes landfall is when we have some of the greatest hazard potential and disaster that can occur, because we have severe wind speeds, we have rising ocean levels, and we also have severe rain that all accompanies the landfalling of a hurricane. And then once a hurricane makes landfall, it tends to begin to dissipate or weaken, but it can also move significant wind speeds inland, and also heavy rains can occur very large distances inland away from the coast. So in summary, hurricanes are typically associated with warm sea surface temperatures in the summer season and early fall, and their track patterns and their intensity tend to follow a relatively typical pattern through the hurricane season. Peak hurricane season tends to occur in August and September, where we get the tendency for the greatest severity of storms and the highest Saffir-Simpson scale. So with that, hopefully you will enjoy this week's exercise. Have a good day. Signing off now. This is Whitney Otan.